Couple's first collaboration. What? They're gonna start working together? Okay, color me intrigued. Even though it is the season of warm air over the continent, the morning is still a bit chilly. If I were alone, it's time to get up and rub my arms. However, now my entire body was wrapped up in warmth. He's still there. Interesting. But he left during the night. Wait, is this like a few days later then? Because I'm like, didn't he leave? I've got questions. Surin, it's morning. Since I'm wrapped up tightly in his arms, I can't move unless Surin wakes up. Calling out to him in a subdued voice, his amethyst-colored eyes blink a few times.
Oh.
He is still unfocused and looks very sleepy. He's surprisingly weak in the morning. Sleep will do that to you. I wonder if he thinks I'm going to run away. Surin began sleeping in my room from the night after we slept together for the second time. Interesting. So he didn't move you to his room, but he moved into your room. Okay. Unless he's too busy with his military duties and can't get out of it, he always comes home and sleeps with me. And then he'd fall asleep, so I had no room or time to protest. I mean, at least all he's doing is sleeping this time. I'd been Surin's wife for about half a month now, and we've fallen into this routine. Okay, so we had a little bit of a time skip. Went from like 3 days to like half a month. Okay. Wake up. Hey, get up already. Didn't you say you had a special mission this morning? Even though I said it myself, I hated sounding like a caring wife. You really do. You're already like, now remember your appointment, sweetie. No, I said it out of necessity, not because I care. While talking to myself like this, Surin slowly got up.
Oh, that's right. Maybe I'll skip it.
Have we actually seen you shirtless up to now? I don't remember. Apparently, Surin loses all motivation when it's an inward-facing job. At the dinner table, he blurted out,
Things were easier when I was lower ranked, as I could run around outside as I pleased.
If this is what the military commander is like, then everyone else is gonna slack off too. The Rus women will be in danger if the internal discipline is disturbed. Ah, I see. That was what I intended to say, but for some reason he faced me with a grin. Oh, shut up. She is, though.
You're finally starting to sound like a wife.
Don't get the wrong idea. He liked it. Don't get the wrong idea. If you don't lead your men properly, the Rus women could be in danger.
Yeah, hide your embarrassment.
Ah, these Soons. That's not it! When I was red-faced and angry, he patted me on the head, which made me even more frustrated. He treated me like a child. Hurry up and go.
Yeah, if I'm late, Toya will be pissed, and that'll be a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, how is Toya these days? Did anything ever... Did a discussion ever happen, or what? He stood up while yawning and easily got ready. Today's mission is apparently guarding the festival, so I guess he'll change into his formal military uniform later. The festival starts pretty early today, doesn't it?
Not quite a festival. It's a banquet held by the king. It starts afternoon, but we gotta prepare before that.
Held by Toya?
Yeah. He'll do anything for the Rus women.
He almost said it once, but shut his mouth and made a difficult face. As I tilted my head, he waved his hand as if it were troublesome and turned his back.
Anyway, it's a pain in the ass kind of thing, so you don't need to come.
What the hell? I'm a Rus woman.
Don't worry about it, just stay in your room.
If I stay in the house all year long, my body will rot away and I'll die. I'd like to go outside and exercise every now and then.
If it's exercise you want, you're getting that pretty much every night.
What? He indicated the top of the bed with his chin, and for a moment my face showed amazement. Immediately figuring out what he was getting at, my cheeks got hot. I'm talking about a healthy workout.
You say that, but I know you really just want to check up on how the Roos women are doing.
If he knew that, then why pretend like he didn't? What an unpleasant guy. Also, duh. Why wouldn't she care? After a low groan, I tried to reappeal my case. If you know, then let me go out.
Of course not.
Why? I said I won't run away.
Don't be stupid. There's lots of women-hungry assholes out there. You're my wife, so you just stay home and behave yourself.
I feel like I could choke to death at any moment now.
Want me to give you mouth to mouth?
No, thank you! I retorted with a force that made every hair on my body stand on end, and Surin laughed deep in his throat as he put his hand on my head.
Well, if you were to become a gentle wife who'd see her husband off, then I might consider it.
Really? I just have to see you off?
I don't mean to just do as you're told.
You're abominable.
And you're a funny girl.
Don't make fun of me. I'm serious.
Well then, see ya.
What was that interaction? They just bickered the entire time. My protests are ignored as the door closes in front of me. There's nothing funny about this. I don't know, there's plenty funny about it. As I was hitting the pillow in frustration, I saw something shiny in my field of vision. Oh, this is Surin's sword. A work of art with a finely crafted handle and scabbard was left by his bedside. Getting sloppy. You idiot, forgetting your weapon? In the first place, even though she might be a woman, leaving your weapon under your pillow while you sleep soundly next to the enemy is already suspect. Really, what is he thinking? Once I woke up in the middle of the night and touched his sword. No, I didn't just touch it. I gently picked it up and closed my eyes. I recalled the scene from the other night. Flashback. The room is quiet. Surin is sound asleep. There are no guards inside the room or out. I hold my breath, pull out the sword, and my sleeping husband's face is reflected in the blade. Whether it's his chest, rising and falling from sleep, or his soft neck, I could kill him with a quick stab. Even if it's impossible to directly reduce the power of the large army, killing the military commander who leads them should have a significant impact. If Roos and Nazla eventually go to war, Surin's death might work out to our advantage. I think, just before the tip of the blade touches his skin. But if I kill him now, the Roos women might be killed or abused in retaliation. And I shake my head at what follows that "and." Even the words in my heart were scary to put into form. Surin might not be a terrible guy. So she had the opportunity to kill him and didn't take it. Even though these thoughts had been snaking into my mind during our previous interactions, I couldn't bring myself to admit it. No matter how gentle his fingertips are, no matter how much I'm treated like his formal wife, I can't find it in my heart to forgive him. Surin is a man from the enemy country that kidnapped us. And this particular man only sees me as a tool. I create words to amplify my hatred in order to get rid of my hesitation. I hated myself for hesitating in an emotional way, not due to my interests. And yet, the moment I saw Surin's sleeping face, I was shook to the depths of my heart. The feeling of his soft lips, the texture of his skin, his smell. Sensations are revived vividly, disturbing my breathing. My goodness. Man, she fell pretty quickly for him. It was as if all 5 of my senses were ordering me, don't kill him. The tip of the sword, aimed at his throat, trembled slightly. I took a small breath and withdrew it. We withdrew it. I can speak. Thinking of everyone's safety, it's not a good idea to kill him now. That's the only reason. I silently sheathed it and returned it to where it originally was. I wonder if he was awake during that entire exchange and was just like, I'll see how this plays out. I lay down, and as Surin turned over and embraced me, I felt bitter. I don't know, I feel like he was waiting to see what she would do. Okay, so that happened a little bit ago. How can you be a military commander with such defenselessness? Recalling the memory of that night, I felt bitter again. Come to think of it, he can't do his job without this. I worried about it for a bit, then left the sword figuring he'd come back for it. However, after spending a few minutes glancing at the sword, Surin didn't return. Why aren't you coming back? Don't you realize that you don't have it? I would never ever take it to him. No, not this girl, thank you very much. I decided to forget about it and reach for my embroidery tool. However, despite working on a simple process, I make many mistakes and even prick my finger with a needle. At any rate, I'm messing up. She's very disturbed, like, why doesn't he come get his sword? I gradually felt uncomfortable and ended up throwing my embroidery tool. Ah, damn! I can't settle down. I take the sword and open the door to the corridor. Stomp, stomp. These days, the only guards are at the entrance, so it's easier to walk around the mansion than before. Nice. I'm not doing this for Surin. I'd hate for him to make excuses that without this, he couldn't do his job and wasn't able to protect the Roos women. I grumbled to myself, heading for the front entrance. As I went down the corridor, worried about if I could make it in time, I saw the back of someone wearing the military uniform. Surin! I rushed to Surin as he turned around and thrust the sword out to him. Are you dressed fancier than normal, or am I think you are. I think you're dressed a little fancier. Unless I'm just not... I'm questioning everything about your looks these days. Maybe you've been wearing, like, house clothes, and so now what was your normal clothes from before looks different to me? I honestly don't know. I've completely forgotten. This is important, right? You shouldn't be forgetting it so easily.
Oh, sorry about that.
I don't know why he's smiling. As I glared at him, feeling as if I'd been ridiculed, Surin's face suddenly approached. Huh? Forgetting to move away due to the suddenness of it, our lips touched lightly and then separated. Aww.
Thanks for seeing me off. When you go out, take Noran with you, just in case.
Oh, so he's saying, okay, since you came to see me off with the sword, I'm gonna let you go. Speaking in a husband-like manner, Surin flipped up the hem of his military uniform. Seeing him off in a stunned state, I came back to myself after a few seconds. What? What the hell is this guy doing? This is the image of a gentle wife seeing her husband off. However, the person I want to argue with has already disappeared beyond the door. I was about to go back to my room in agony when I realized it. Does that mean I can go out now? Did he leave his sword behind on purpose? Oh, damn. Did he? I mean, it sounded like he was gone for a while. He was waiting. I think he was waiting for her. Why can't this guy just, like, be? He gotta, like, be all sneaky. Like, I can't
tell you, I'm gentle person over here. I'm a brute.
Yes, roundabout. That's the word, Nala. That's it. Did he have to do things in such a roundabout way to give me permission? More and more, I don't understand this guy named Surin. As I was pondering this with my hand on my chin, I heard light footsteps approaching from behind. Ah, good morning, missus. Breakfast is ready. Bro has work from the morning, so he's already gone out. But you already know that, yeah. Ah, yeah. Noran knows everything about my life in the mansion. Of course, he'd know that I'd been together with Surin last night. When thinking about that, I'm kind of embarrassed. I got a lot of your favorite fruits today. Thanks. Naran? Hmm? I stopped Naran when he turned away to help serve the food. After thinking for a moment, I boldly opened my mouth. Today, I'd like to go to the residence where all the Roos women are.
Oh yeah, I heard about that from Bro. Let's go after we finish eating.
So Siren already talked to Naran about it, too. He intended on letting her go all along. What a brat. I hope we can actually go and see, like, Shalu and Solana, because it's been ages, and it'd be interesting to catch up with them and see what's going on. Oh, yeah. I'm somewhat puzzled by the fact that this was accepted so easily and unexpectedly. It's a nice development, but I have a few questions. I wonder when Surin intended to give permission. I can't help but to think that he'd planned this from the beginning and was looking for an opportunity to give me permission. If I don't run away, that means he trusts me? If he trusts me, it'll be easier to move around, which is good for me. But however... You're worried about him trusting you? I'm curious what this strange pain in the back of your chest is. Is that just like the beginnings of love or what? Well, Surin liked it. I remembered a strange pain in the back of my chest. Can he really trust me so easily? He does sleep with his sword under the pillow. I found myself complaining irrationally and I pulled my lips together. I should be happy to have the trust and be able to move around more easily. Why am I so mopey? I'd better go eat breakfast. I switch my thoughts before I can see the conclusion. The emotions that were smoldering in the back of my chest became smaller and disappeared. Okay. We'll put a pin in those emotions for right now. After breakfast, I visited the Roos women's residence with Naran. I smile wryly at the nostalgic feeling, perhaps because it's been half a month since I've been here. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm also a little nervous considering everyone's reaction. I became a Nazla wife, albeit in exchange for what happened. My shoulders stiffened remembering Shalu's reaction back then. Oh, Haru's here too. Miss Nala! Oh, Haru? A person who shouldn't be here calls my name near the entrance. I was more surprised than happy, and for a moment I wasn't sure how to react. What's wrong, Haru? I thought you married one of the guards here. Yes, and we're still happily living together. Today I came back here with my husband's permission as I was curious to see how everyone was doing. What a coincidence. So am I. I'm really glad to have met her, because along with everyone else, I was curious about how Haru was doing after having gotten married. Well, it's nice to hear that she's like, we're happily married. I see Haru's happy smile and breathe out a sigh of relief. We were all just talking about you, Miss Nala. I'm sure everyone will be really happy to see you. Since getting married, Haru seems to be more cheerful than before. Much. She takes my hand and pulls me inside. Wait, Haru! I was pulled inside, frowning as I hadn't quite prepared myself yet. Well, it's happening. Oh, it's Mrs. Nala? I was impatient for a moment, being called Mrs. in front of Naran. One woman whispered off to the side. Mrs. Nala became the wife of a military commander, so it's okay to call her Mrs. now. Speaking of... Mrs. Nala! Mrs. Nala, I'm happy to see you doing well! As I proceeded to the back, the women surrounded me all at once. They were all pleased to hear that I was safe, and some of them shed tears. I hugged each of them and exchanged a few words before settling down in the center of the room. Thank you. I'm glad you're all doing well. Even still, there's two things that's bothering me. The first is everyone's reaction. Everyone should know that I got married as part of a punishment, but no one looks at me with any sympathy in their eyes. Damn! These women... It's not like I wanted them to be sympathetic, but the complete lack of it is a bit unnatural. Naran, don't just stand around in the entrance. Why don't you come inside like you always do? Yeah, that's right.
Huh?
Always? I thought that this would be Naran's first time visiting here. Oh boy, all the ladies are like, hey Naran, come sit with us. However, judging by how friendly everyone was with him, it seems that they're familiar with him and even like him. Unable to keep up with the developments, I turned my quizzical gaze to Naran. Naran looks awkwardly away and scratches his cheek.
Naran comes here every day and tells me all kinds of stories.
All kinds of stories?
He'd say things like, this morning Mrs. Nala ate fruit, or she's talking a bit more with Lord Surin, stuff about your daily life.
I see. Naran's been gossiping about you. Like, girls, I think it's actually happening. I think she's like starting to be nicer to him. I'm so excited. Naran, you betrayed me. I turned to Naran again, and he opened his mouth as if thinking.
I came here to tell everyone how you were doing, as they would be worried. At the orders of Bro.
I would have never imagined Surin would make that happen. So Surin sent Naran here to try to ease everyone's worries about her, and that's why no one's sympathetic, because they're like, oh, we've heard about her like all this time, and she's like doing okay. Is it to minimize the unrest that would spread among the women? Maybe Toya told him to do it. Surin and Toya seem to be friends, so maybe he's helping out somehow while complaining about it. Maybe they discussed things after I got married and came up with a plan to deal with it. I didn't know they'd patch things up. We're assuming a lot with that, though. I thought they were still fighting, because he'd said something like it would be awkward to meet up, but it seems they've made up on the surface, at least. Having satisfied myself on that front, I asked about the next thing I was concerned about. Where's Shalu and Solana? There's no way those two wouldn't notice everyone having gathered here. Shalu probably still feels a little awkward about what happened, but I think she'd be more happy to see me again.
That's...
Everyone looks at each other as if they're wondering if it's okay to talk about it. As I waited without rushing, one of them began to speak.
The day that you got married, Shalu locked herself in her room for a while. But lately, she's been going out all of a sudden. She's out more than she's here at the residence.
I wonder where she's going. Given Shalu's temperament, I'm worried that she'll try to do something disturbing again. And I won't be there to help this time. When my face clouded over, Haru held my hand as if concerned for me.
It's okay. I'm sure Miss Shalu is thinking about what she can do for everyone here now.
What makes you say that? Shalu wasn't pleased with the women who flirted with the Nazla men. She said harsh things, in particular to Haru, who was getting married to one. That's as far as my memory goes regarding their relationship, so Haru's confident way of speaking didn't quite make sense to me. Haru smiles as if she sensed my feelings.
The other day, Shalu came to my house and apologized.
Really?
Yes. She said, I was in a bad place, and I said some terrible things and hurt you. I really am sorry. And finally said, I'm going to do the only thing I can do from here for you whom I hurt, with a smile. I don't think a person with such a gentle smile would be thinking of something dangerous.
Now you got me worried. If it was a gentle smile, if it was like the Deadeye smile, I'm worried.
I'm sure she changed her mind after hearing your wish for everyone to return to Ruth safely.
I hope that's really the case. But I'm wondering what Shalu meant by the only thing I can do from here. Yep. From Haru's story, she seemed calm, so it doesn't sound like she's going to do anything dangerous for now. Oh yeah? Remember the last time she was calm? I should come tomorrow to see Shalu. I have to talk to her. What about Solana?
Lately, Solana's gotten friendly with a man and goes to his place often.
Oh, really?
She's probably with him today as well.
Solana and a Nazla man. As Solana is very cautious, the guy must be a very calm, well-put-together person. Before I left here, Solana used to look at a picture scroll. Maybe she got them from that guy. Everyone must choose their own path. Even thinking so, I felt lonely she kept quiet to me. Given the way Shalu was, she couldn't have said anything. Afterwards, we exchanged whatever information we had and parted, promising to meet again. Oh, well, this is certainly some music, isn't it? Oh, I could use that bow. While thinking that this isn't very feminine, I wander around the market. Speaking of, there's some kind of festival going on in the square in front of the gate, yeah. I noticed that the stone pavement has been dyed orange. The banquet that Surin mentioned is about to begin.
Yeah, it was planned by Lord Toya to comfort the hearts of the Roos women. There's gonna be a lot of delicious food, and even sword fight exhibitions.
That's good. I'm also a Roos woman, but Surin told me that I couldn't go. It's not that I want to get carried away, but it's just frustrating to have one of my given rights taken away without my permission.
Ah, well, it's a festival for singles, so, Mrs. You could go, but there might be a misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding?
I'm sure Bro would hate it if some guy thought you weren't married and tried to hit on you.
I'm not so desperate as to lie and say that I'm not married. Also, Surin, just take her alongside you. No one's gonna go up to a woman next to you and be like, hey babe.
Yeah, but even if you don't have that intent, other guys might still approach you.
Well, everyone is desperate.
Not that, it's because you're very beautiful.
Aww. Naran, with shining eyes, said with all his might. It seems that he doesn't doubt the credibility of his own words. He's very easygoing with the compliments. He's just like, you are beautiful. You have a lovely voice. Your eyes are sparkling. You're just incredible, lady. I respond with a wry smile while feeling the pressure of his straight gaze. Naran, you probably don't understand because you haven't had many opportunities to see too many young girls.
How rude. I have good eyesight.
I love that.
I'm in that mansion every day and in contact with plenty of women.
I'm not trying to be demeaning. I think it's normal. And even my hair color is different from everyone else's.
I love that color. It's bright like the sun and it suits you.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to say thank you, but I'm not on your route, so I'll just say, this might be going too far. I'm happy, but you're praising me too much. I'm not that great of a woman. Naran seems to have an overrated opinion of me, perhaps because I'm married to his bro, who he admires so much. Every time I get praise like this, I have trouble responding. Well, let's leave things at that, and let's go. The words around the market sank into my throat. There was a commotion in the area as multiple people screamed and the sound of rumbling footsteps ran through the market. Did something happen?
I don't know. Mrs., you stay right here.
Naran also looked alarmed, so this is certainly not a normal day for Nazla either. Naran told me not to move and stopped a man who was passing by.
Hey, do you know what happened?
I heard that a ferocious monster escaped from the show hut.
A monster?
Yeah, and apparently there's 2 of them. You 2 should get out of here before you get eaten.
Are they really that violent? Mrs., let's hurry back.
Yeah, but if we don't do anything...
You're no match for it, woman. And there should be military personnel in the square right in front of the gate where the monster was headed, so they should be able to do something about it.
The square? It's headed for the square?
Yeah?
Oh no! The Roos women are in the square now! Naran, you go on ahead.
Huh? What are you saying? I can't just leave you here!
And she left him there. I run off before Naran can finish what he was saying. On the way, I grabbed the bow and arrow from the stall and ran through the streets with the momentum of a thief.
Huh? Hey!
Sorry! Bill it to the military commander's house!
Mrs.!
I was confident in my foot speed, but he was already catching up with me. I shouted as I ran, amazed at Naran's agility. Please, Naran, go tell everyone in the residence to stay where they are.
No! I'm your...
Oh, boy. I mean, he's not her only ally, but I mean, at this moment, yes. I gotta also be careful. There's bad endings afoot. There be bad endings afoot. I gotta keep that in mind, too. It's not just about raising affection with Surin. Okay, I'm gonna go to the top one. I think this is gonna be an up for Naran, but just in case. Yeah.
Please, you're my only ally right now.
There were signs that Naran was following me until about halfway through, but he gradually disappeared in the crowd. Maybe he heard my wish and went to the residence.
Thanks, Naran.